Well, hello and welcome. I'm Misheard with Misheard Song Lyrics Podcast. We're in Season 3, Episode 148, and doing our first ever Earth, Wind, and Fire. The song is Let's Groove, and the Misheard song lyric is Breakfast rolls, get you to move, it's alright, alright, alright. And then the correct lyrics is Let this groove, get you to move, it's alright, alright, alright. It really does sound like breakfast rolls, and I do love me a good breakfast rolls. So the reason why I wanted to do a Earth, Wind, and Fire misheard song lyric is, first, I haven't done one before, so it's our first. Second, thanks to my good friend Bola, I was able to go to an Earth, Wind, and Fire / Santana concert a couple days ago here where I live. It was actually at an outdoor concert, and it was lovely. The weather was perfect. People were just enjoying themselves like it was pre-COVID. It was nice to see people just dancing and loving on each other. And they sounded just like they did back in the 70s, 80s. They have so many great songs, so many. They did September, they did Boogie Woogie, Wonderland, this song and others. And I thought, you know what? I know they have a lot of misheard song lyrics, not only in other songs, but what about this song? Because I always thought also it was about breakfast rolls. So let's do Let's Groove. Okay. All right, so what's the song about? It's a song by American band Earth, Wind, and Fire, like I shared earlier. It was actually released as their first single from their 11th album called Raise, with an exclamation mark. That was back in 1981. Yours truly was about 9. All right. It's written by world famous Maruice White and Wayne Vaughn, and Maurice himself produced it. The song was definitely a commercial success and was one of the band's highest charting single in various territories. I'm not surprised. It peaked inside the top 20 in countries including not only where I'm in, the United States, but also New Zealand, United Kingdom, Canada, and other component charts in America. In the very late 1970s and early 1980s, there was a severe backlash against disco music, and I mentioned this in several episodes before. But in spite of all this, Earth, Wind, and Fire decided to revive the disco sound that was included on their previous works and later records. Musically, Let's Groove is what they call a post-disco pop and funk, which includes instrumentation of synthesizers and keyboards along with live electric guitars. One thing I love about the song is the first beginning of it. It has this robotic electronic synthesized sound, which now you hear all the time. People like Daft Punk have used it, and it just catches your eye. So I can only imagine being 20s on a dance floor somewhere in America, and you hear the starting of the song. You know, oh, we're gonna turn it up. So Earth, Wind, and Fire, or some people like to just call them EW&F or EWF, is a band from America, and they span all musical genres, including jazz, rhythm and blues or R&B, soul, funk, disco, pop, EDM, so electronic, Latin, and Afro-pop. They have been described as one of the most innovative and are among the most commercially successful acts in history. With sales of over 90 million records, they are one of the world's best-selling bands of all time. Of all time. Founded in 1969 in Chicago by Maruice White, he had been with a previous band before Earth, Wind, and Fire, or EWF, with a band called the Salty Peppers. And then other prominent members of Earth, Wind, and Fire include Philip Bailey, which I'll talk about in a minute too, Verdine White, Ralph Johnson, Larry Dunn, Al McKay, Roland Batista, Robert Brookings, Sonny Emery, Fred Ravel, Ronnie Laws, Sheldon Reynolds, and Andrew Woolfolk. That's a lot of people. They're known for their kalimba sound and dynamic horn section. I mean, that's, when you think of horn section, you think of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Excuse me, ooh, allergies. And they're energetic and elaborate stage shows. And the contrast between Philip Bailey's falsetto vocals and Maruice White's baritone. And I can tell you now that I've been to my first ever Earth, Wind, and Fire concert just a couple days ago, it is still energetic. They have an amazing backdrop with some great visuals behind them. They were wearing sequined outfits this time, but back in the 70s, 80s, they were wearing what was really popular then, this like futuristic kind of like what Kiss wore, so some crazy outfits, but it worked, you know, with the funk. They have been included into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the group or the Vocal Group Hall of Fame, the NWAC Image Award Hall of Fame, and Hollywood's Rock Walk. In addition, they also have a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The band also received an ASCAP or ASCAP Rhythm and Soul Heritage Award, BET Lifetime Achievement Award, and the Soul Train Legend Award, as well as the NARAS or NARAS Signature Governor's Award, a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, and the 2012 Congressional Horizon Award, and the Kennedy Center's Award in 2019. Magazine Rolling Stone called them innovative, precise yet sensual, calculated yet galvanizing, and declared that the band changed the sound of black pop. VH1 has also described Earth, Wind & Fire as one of the greatest bands ever. So let's talk about who was in it, because there are two main people that definitely, stand to the forefront. First is founder Maruice White. He was born December 19, 1941. He was an American singer, musician, songwriter, and record producer. He's known as being the founder, leader, and main songwriter and producer of the band for Earth, Wind & Fire, and then served as the band's co-lead singer with Philip Bailey. He's been described as a visionary by Vibe magazine and a mastermind by Variety magazine. White was also nominated for a total of 22, count them, 22 Grammys, wow, of which he won 7 of them. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Vocal Group Hall of Fame as a member of Earth, Wind & Fire, and was also inducted individually into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. He worked with artists such as Deniece Williams, remember her? Let's hear for the boys, oh, let's see my boy, hey, yeah, yeah, from the soundtrack of Footloose. Worked with Cher, The Emotions, Barbra Streisand, Babs, Ramsey Lewis, and Neil Diamond. A lot of names I love here. Unfortunately, he did pass away, so back on February 4, 2016, Mr. Maruice White died in his sleep in his LA home from the effects of Parkinson's disease. He was 74 years old, and I can tell you intimately, I have a relative by former marriage, Uncle Mark, who had passed away from that, and yeah, it's a debilitating disease because it just slows you down, and I did not realize that the amazing Maruice White died of it. So I'm going to just take a moment here because he definitely needs to be remembered. His brother Verdun said, quote unquote, "My brother, hero and best friend, Maruice White, passed away peacefully last night in his sleep. While the world has lost another great musician and legend, our family asks that our privacy is respected as we start what will be a very difficult and life-changing transition in our lives. Thank you for the prayers and well wishes." Nicely said. So we talk about Mr. Maruice White. Let's talk about the other, powerhouse voice within Earth, Wind & Fire, and that's Mr. Philip James Bailey. Now, he was born on May 8, 1951. He's still with us, thank goodness. He is an American rhythm and blues, soul, gospel, and funk singer, songwriter, and percussionist, also best known as an early member of one of the 2 lead singers, which we're talking today with Maruice White for the band Earth, Wind & Fire. He is known for his 4-octave vocal range and distinctive falsetto register. So he's the one that's singing the "Let It Groove," that part. Bailey has won 7 Grammy Awards. He was also inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Vocal Group Hall of Fame because of being a member of Earth, Wind & Fire, as well as being inducted, just like Maruice was, into the Songwriters Hall of Fame for his work with the band. Bailey also released several solo albums, one called Chinese Wall from 1984, which received a Grammy Award nomination for Best R&B Vocal Performance for a Male, including the international hit She's an Easy Lover with a duet with Phil Collins. Easy Lover won the MTV Video Music Award for Best Overall Performance in a Video back in 1985, so yours truly was a mere 13 years old, and was Grammy nominated for the Best Pop Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals. I love that song. And then in May 2008, Philip Bailey was awarded an honorary doctorate of music from Berklee College of Music at Berklee's commencement ceremony where he was the commencement speaker. So that must have been a nice surprise. So 2 powerhouses there. The other thing is the video. Have you seen it lately? I had to look at it at YouTube, and I'm going to just say they love the green screen. They use the technique throughout. And it's funny because when I was watching, I'm like, oh, this looks really familiar. It looks like they took that famous scene in Star Wars where Princess Leia is this hologram coming out of R2-D2. I'm like, help me. And they infused that same style in this video with the band adoringly looking down at a miniature-sized woman dancing her heart away under a rainbow. There you go. That's the video. And of course, lots of great funk dance moves and the amazing voices. The music video of Let's Groove was the first ever to be played on Video Soul on BET. Did not know that. It was heavy with vintage electronic effects, and the video was created by Ron Hayes using what they called Scanimate analog computer system at Image West Limited. That's probably the AK, the green screen. So Ron Hayes, you love a green screen. Then the whole style of that music video later went on to influence Bruno Mars's video, Treasure. Treasure! Yeah, kind of looks like it. Yeah. And then, of course, Song Awards I mentioned, but I want to mention again. The song actually peaked at number 3 in the US and in the UK. It would also spent 8 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot Soul Singers chart in late 1981 and early 1982, and was the second R&B song of 1982 on the year-end charts. The single sold over 1 million copies in the US and has been certified gold by the RIAA, as until the RIAA lowered the sales levels for certified singles in 1989. A gold single equaled 1 million units sold. And then Let's Groove was also certified silver in the UK by the British phonographic industry. So lots of awards. Sorry, it's not about breakfast rolls, but it sure sounds like it. And now seeing them, I can just see why they touch so many people. I mean, looking at the crowd, everyone, it was from as young as a newborn baby bouncing on her mom's, arms, all the way up to I swear I saw some like 90-year-olds just grooving. So that's the power of music, right? If you have any great suggestions like this Earth, Wind & Fire misheard song lyric about breakfast rolls, please send them to any of our sites like in Facebook, Instagram. We're also on Twitter, or you can just email us at misheard, that's MISSHEARD songs @gmail.com, and we'd love to hear from you. Maybe talk about your misheard song lyric and give you a shout out. Till then, keep singing those songs wrong. Bye.